So Star Wars theory has gotten triggered by Andor, and it's kind of revealed how he's an absolute normie when it comes to Star Wars. Before we get into it, I just want to say, not wanting to see sexual assault in Star Wars is valid. It's just all the shit he's been saying around it is completely stupid. SA in Star Wars feels unnecessary. You can portray power dynamics and making the audience hate the Empire in other ways without taking it to such a disgusting place. Vader wouldn't tolerate that shit, nor does the Empire condone it. It has no place in Star Wars, period. Unnecessary. This is something that happens in war. It's an adult show. Vader brutally murdered children and killed millions. The fuck you mean he wouldn't tolerate it? They're evil. That's kind of their thing, bro. Do you understand why Vader did what he did and cried later? He was trying to save his wife, under his own illusions. What the fuck does SA do for the plot here? You can't be seriously comparing the two and their place in Star Wars. That's insane. Lol, didn't think your retort would be to justify child murder, but here we are. Yeah, he didn't mean to murder children, he cried after. This guy's somehow a spokesperson for online Star Wars fans and has zero understanding of film. Most current self-proclaimed Star Wars fans have little understanding of film, to the point where I just assume the person is a pinhead if they claim to be a Star Wars fan. And that's 100% understandable, and I wouldn't be surprised if most people outside of the fandom just see Star Wars fans like they're idiots, because of people like theory. I'm a mature audience. I'm sick of all the baby stories. This is good, more compelling, and believable. Grape is more compelling and believable? LMAO? The word is rape. You are not 15 years old, although you like to act as if you were. I'm aware. It's a habit, as being online certain words get you banned on different platforms. Nobody is banned here for saying the word rape. Grow the fuck up. Just thought I'd throw that in there. I do think using grape instead of rape makes you immature, and on top of theory also just being stupid, it really doesn't make him look good. But here's where we get to some real fucking crazy shit from theory. People need to understand this about Vader. He wasn't pure evil like Palpatine. He turned to the dark side in promise of unforgivable acts, unlocking his true power through pain and rage. He needed this power to save his wife. This was the lie Palpatine sold him. He didn't enjoy killing younglings. He didn't enjoy the things he did. He used the pain and rage in his heart to move his sword. The pain the Jedi caused him, from neglect, not allowing him to save his mother, from holding him back, glazing him to restricting him. Anakin cried for it. He cried because he remembered the boy he once was, and how far away from that he had become now on Mustafar. This is all documented in the book and lore. Vader hated the world because he hated his situation. He hated the Jedi, he hated Palpatine, and most of all, he hated himself for losing her. George wrote Vader as a very sad, tragic character. His actions were a direct cause of his impatience and lust for power and control. What is this guy even talking about? And when he says this is all documented in the book and lore, I'm assuming he's talking about the Revenge of the Sith novelization. Fair, okay. But what lore? I have a feeling he's referencing some bullshit in the Disney Vader comics which aren't real Star Wars. The sexual assault scene was not about Vader. And yes, rape too has always been in Star Wars. Yet, you say you know Vader, but then you say it's okay for him to be gay? Wouldn't hurt his story? Really?
Darth Vader could take it up the butt by freaking robots. I don't. He's still the coolest character of all time. I don't give a shit.
Anakin did turn evil, at will, as Darth Vader. He wanted to rule as a Sith. Even in the Revenge of the Sith novelization, Vader killed the younglings because they were of no use. Orphans, no mercy whatsoever. Vader didn't hate himself. As a Sith, he hated how weak he was. As Anakin, he lied to the Council about a lot of things. He was attached to his mom. The Council didn't know she was being tortured. Visions are always in motion and just one truth. He lusted for power, key elements of being Sith, and evil. He captured Wookiees for slavery. He tortured people, including Leia. He stood by and watched a whole planet get destroyed. Yes, as Anakin was manipulated and turned. It was tragic. Once the turn fully happened, he was evil. Reason he was feared by the galaxy. Let's just circle back to what he was saying about Vader not tolerating and the Empire not condoning it. Bro, I love your content, but the Empire wouldn't tolerate it? Come on, you honestly think if Vader saw that he wouldn't kill the guy and leave? Heck, he might kill the girl too, but no way he'd let that imp live. If he saw imps killing younglings or anyone, he wouldn't really give a fuck. What is this brain dead take? Why would Vader care? Jesus, bro, you know nothing about Vader or how he thinks. How he thinks? Bro, you glaze Vader so much, it's wild. He's a fictional fucking character, shut up. God damn, Theory is actually a retard, and he sounds fucking crazy. Like, oh, he's gonna kill a guy for trying to rape someone, but then he's gonna kill the woman who almost got raped, and he's also fine with children getting killed, according to Theory, that is. So like, why would he care if someone's getting raped in the first place? He already seems pretty fucking horrible. The inability to see a suggestive scene of a planet blowing up compared to something detailed like the vision in Terminator 2 of Sarah Connor clinging to the fence and having her skin melted off. Both result in the same thing, yet one is suggestive without the uncomfortable gore. It's Star Wars. It doesn't need to see an insane level of realism for disturbing scenarios beyond getting the point across. This is why George decided against the younglings chop-up scene, why he cut out the scene of Anakin versus Sindralig. It was too much, he said. Anakin burning was as grotesque as it got, and it was shown, partially, to serve as a reminder this is what happens to very bad corrupt people. I'm not sure if these people play low IQ or just actually can't tell the difference when directing or writing a scene in Star Wars. Again, Star Wars, not some other film. There's a precedent, however, with Disney, I guess it changed now. The scene of the Death Star blowing up a planet and killing millions was not a suggestive scene. It was the actual scene shot per shot. Suggestive scene is tending to an idea without showing, whether we see from the ground or from the view of the weapon. It isn't a suggestive scene, we see it happen. The goal of this bald-headed retard to call other people low IQ, you're a moron, dude. And this is a perfect example of how stupid Theory actually is. He does this all the time. He tries to look and sound like he's not a moron, and he uses words in incorrect ways. He says things that are just straight up wrong and he doesn't realize it because he's a fucking idiot. He does not know what suggestive scenes are. And he's talking about the precedent of sexual assault in Star Wars. Jabba the Hutt had sex slaves. Are you just ignoring that? Twi'leks famously have been sex slaves forever. Does he not understand that being a sex slave means you're getting raped? But here it is. The precedent is being shown to him. Andor wasn't the first to do it. And what is his response? A live-action 750mm show and an obscure comic aren't the same thing. Funny you're finding reasons to justify it. Fuck you, you fake fucking cunt. Production cost does not matter. In the end, it is still Star Wars. This dark theme was still used in Star Wars pre-Disney. You put off like you know Star Wars, a big EU fan, as you said before. Yet you forget about this and other content that goes into this dark theme of SA, rape, molestation, seduction. This is not to justify what happened. It is to clarify that it has been in pre-Disney Star Wars before. Before complaining about something, know your lore. Yet a supposed Star Wars expert, the George Lucas purist, the guy who thinks he knows Star Wars better than fucking anyone, he has no clue what he's talking about. And thank you OG Star Wars for these responses. She actually knows what she's talking about, unlike that bald-headed retard. And there should be a link to her channel in the description. Make sure you subscribe to her if you want to follow real Star Wars fans who actually know the lore. Star Wars Theory is the biggest normie there is in the fandom. He doesn't know real Star Wars. He doesn't respect real Star Wars. He's a Disney fan at the end of the day. No matter how much he wants to talk shit about Disney, that will always be real Star Wars to him. That is the canon to him. And he's always gonna feel that way no matter what he says because he's a fucking fraud. And he goes around acting like he's the expert on Anakin and Vader. He genuinely thinks that if Anakin was gay, it wouldn't change his story. He genuinely believes if Darth Vader was getting fucked by Lobot, he'd still be the same kind of character. Absolute dickhead.
One, I wouldn't bring in anything from fucking Legends once you threw it all away. Make your own shit. Don't try to bastardize stuff and make people, like, literally just because a couple of people heard, like, he said Mount Tantus, oh my god, and it's a complete bastardization of everything.
It's literally me.
I know that's you. Like, I don't understand that.
That's me, dude.
Why would you want that though?
Because we don't have anything else.
What if they brought in some random redheaded chick, right, who's a little bit sassy in season 4 of The Mandalorian, and she was like, my name's Mara Jade. Would you lose your mind?
Yeah, it'd be fucking dope.
Well, why? Because in this universe where Luke Skywalker's not going to get married to her, while Luke Skywalker's already a fucking failure piece of shit and everything that we've seen happen, why would you be excited for them to bring in a character who was actually good in one iteration of canon just for a little fucking pop, like of recognition before they destroy this person's character further? That's the stuff that doesn't make any sense to me.
Brian, say you're in the desert, you got no food, no water.
I
We're
would
doing this
die. I
again.
would rather die.
No,
I'm just
Papa comes along and says, "Hey Ryan, zip. Let me give you a little bit of liquid." You're gonna be like, you're gonna tell me that you're just not. You're gonna be like, no, oh.
Why did you just compare watching Disney Star Wars to being peed on? In a
Because we're
positive
being-
light.
No, you're not. How do you not get that? We're being
would-
starved.
I would rather die with a little bit of dignity than let Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni piss down my fucking throat to keep me alive.